Good afternoon or good morning. How are we feeling? Okay, let's act like we were inspired. How are you feeling? Awesome. As far back as I can remember, I've always dreamt of becoming an actor. The camera, the lights, the storytelling. Just the thought of being on a stage made me feel alive and full of purpose. Growing up in the Bronx while seeing Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, acting and dancing her way into Hollywood inspired me to go after my own dreams. And as I began to work on my craft and study the art of acting, I realized that it was so much deeper than red carpets and glitz and glamour. Acting is about discovering the truth, peeling away all the layers of the character that you are portraying. It's about listening and being present in the moment. But most importantly, there is an element of transparency. You ever have that moment where you are locked in, watching your favorite film or documentary, and there you are. You haven't even paid attention to the popcorn, and you get to witness the main character in their most vulnerable state, and you instantly connect. And it is so good that you don't know if they're acting or is it the movie because you are so connected. And by this point, they have nothing else to hide. No more facades, no more secrets, no more pretending. That is what it is to be transparent. An actor's best work is displayed when they have allowed their soul to connect to the truth of the story, which in turn allows their performance to resonate with us, the audience. It is a terrifying thing to do, to bear it all, to allow someone to see a part of your soul. So scary that most people will never venture into the depths of getting to know who they really are. And so a powerful thing happened to me that led me to both a crisis and a breakthrough. Motherhood. I know. Hollywood and movies have led us to believe that motherhood is amazing, a fairy tale, that there's a happy ending. Social media has allowed us to go on and look at photos of other mothers and their babies, especially celebrity moms. And you see the mother looking amazing. The baby is perfect. Her waist is snatched. She's already shed the 20 pounds. It's been like a week, right? The house is clean. Oh, and breastfeeding looks like a piece of artwork. Giselle, she is goals. I want to be her. But in real life, motherhood is messy, okay? And I know I look good, but don't let this fool you because half the time I look like a hot mess. Like this. That's right. That's me with my daughter, Summer Rose, trying to get that post-baby body back, right? You know, ugh. It's 9 years and I'm still working on that body. And my daughter looking at me like, Mom, you are pathetic. But that's what we do as a society. We compare our lives, our bodies, to photos that are filtered and photoshopped. And we wonder why we have anxiety. Motherhood, it's having bags under your eyes, sneaking away into a closet to eat a piece of chocolate. Eating while standing, making love in silence, feeling like a failure most of the time, and Spanx. And my experience as an actor and excavating the truths of these fictitious characters that I play forced me to become transparent about the realest character of all, which was myself. So, here is my bold and transparent truth. I never wanted to become a mother. That's right, I said it. I mean never. I never thought about being pregnant, reveal parties, family vacations, never. And I was comfortable in my skin. The funny thing is that when I've expressed it to others, especially women, I'm met with looks and stares, like you're doing right now. And it's okay. I understand it sounds a bit harsh because it's not normal for a woman to publicly admit that she doesn't want to become a mother. But that was my truth, and I was okay with it. Or at least I thought I was. It all started in my teenage years, surviving my first love. He said he loved me. I believed him. Even after the black and blues on my body and the blood on my white t-shirt told me different. And sometime later, after my abortion, my life would be thrusted into depression, self-loathing, and suicidal ideations. I did not feel worthy of having a child. And to top it off, I had a very complicated and difficult relationship with my mother, the woman who gave birth to me. And I loved my mother. She was a fierce Puerto Rican woman. She taught me about the power of my voice. She taught me to be tough, but she made it so hard to love her. Anyone here ever have a complicated relationship with their parents? Oh, I see you. I see you. We have to be transparent. My mother never cried in front of me. Even in her last days where she became ill, she could not let herself be vulnerable in front of me. Actually, comforting my mother was very uncomfortable. And she had a habit of always locking her bedroom door. And as a 6-year-old, I would just stand there confused. Why didn't my mommy want to let me in? And so I had to create a story, especially as a child, to understand. So I said, my mother's bedroom really represented her heart, and she never allowed me in with the key. As I grew as a woman, I understood that my mom's own trauma prevented her from connecting with me emotionally and maternally, which disrupted my maternal development. So you could say I was a bit traumatized about becoming a mother. So I knew I just wanted to be an actor, get married, and travel the world, and I didn't want to feel bad about it. And once again, when a woman says this, she is judged. And culturally speaking, being Latina, you are expected to have children. No ifs, ands, or buts. They will talk about you right in front of you. Ay, Dios mío. Oh my God. What is wrong with you? Nothing. I just want to be a career woman. But we are living in different times where women are CEOs of companies, entrepreneurs, filmmakers. Wonder Woman was directed by a woman, yes. We are MMA fighters. That's what I'm talking about. And I began to question, am I still a flourishing woman if I don't have children? Does having a child define me as a woman? And why are we so pressured to procreate? Boys aren't pressured to procreate. Even our own eggs begin to turn on us. Science tells us that in our 20s, we are fertile myrtle. And by the time we're 30, fertility begins to decline. And by the time you're 35, well, good luck. And you know it's bad. Fellas, you don't know about this. But when you go to the GYN, and they give you that look, and you feel all like, oh my goodness, what's wrong? And they say, so what's your plan? I'm like, plan with what? I have a plan to be successful. And they go, well, you know, time is ticking. Well, I didn't know. I had to begin thinking about all of this. So now I'm full of anxiety because my eggs are going to determine so many things. Time. How many of us feel as if we don't have enough time? But my time came. Not for children, but in 2007, my dreams came true of being a Hollywood actor. I worked in a film with Oscar winner Hilary Swank in the film Freedom Writers. I got married that same year to the love of my life. And in 2010, I worked on a show called Dexter. We were nominated for a SAG Award for Best Ensemble Cast, and I just happened to be in that season 5, just in case. And here I was. I arrived. All my dreams came true. Everything I worked hard for, I made it out the Bronx. I was living it, had my man by my side. And then it happened. You know, for you planners out there that plan everything, by the time I'm 27, I'll have this, and by the time I'm 30, I'll have that. And then life comes and shifts you. And that happened when my husband popped the question, no, not to marry me again, that'd be too romantic. He asked me the most inconvenient question with his deep, dark eyes and his lovely voice. He asked, when do you think we can have a family? What? Now, at this point, we were together for 11 years, and he never pressured me into having a family. But apparently, after the loss of his father, his biological clock started ticking. Mine didn't even have batteries. And any woman in her right mind who has a good man wants to have a baby. But no, not this diva. All of a sudden, my throat became dry. And I could not talk. And I said, how dare he ask me to do the thing that I'm most fearful of, and that was becoming a mother. Fear, the most powerful emotion. It will make you either fight, flight, or freeze, especially when it makes you face yourself. I was terrified. If I'm going to be transparent, I was terrified of change. I was terrified of losing my career because I know how hard I worked, but I was most terrified in losing myself. But I'm a girl from the Bronx, and my mama taught me better. So I put my helmet of courage on, and I faced my fears. In 2012, I had my daughter, Summer Rose, via emergency C-section, and life, as I knew it, changed. But there was one thing that no one prepared me for, and that was postpartum depression. It is a severe mood disorder due to hormonal changes, psychological fatigue. According to postpartumdepression.org, 1 in 7 women will experience postpartum depression. Some of the symptoms are excessive crying, feelings of guilt and despair, sadness, suicidal ideations, feeling overwhelmed. I had all of those. This was supposed to be the best time of my life. And I was suffering in silence. I was acting as if I was okay. I was acting as if I loved motherhood, but deep down inside, I did not. And so one day, my daughter was crying, and I wanted to hurt her. And I knew I couldn't, and so I grabbed my Percocets and a glass of water, and I walked into the bathroom in the dark, and I didn't cry. I just wanted to end motherhood. But I snapped out of it. I picked up the phone, and I called my therapist. She said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm not well. I just tried to drink Percocets because I didn't want to wake up." And when my husband came home, I went I ran to the therapist, and she asked me the most profound question. How are you feeling? And I said, I'm angry, I'm afraid, and I'm struggling with motherhood. And I don't understand why I don't feel a connection to my daughter, and I feel as if an alien took over my body, and I don't want to feel this way anymore. She said, April, you get to decide how you feel. And so I said, from this moment on, I am going to be so honest, so transparent, and whomever asks me about motherhood, I am going to tell them the truth. Well, you should be careful what you ask for. Because in a sunny, beautiful day, I was in church, and this woman, so gracious, she came to me. She had a smile on her face, and she was like, how's motherhood? And with a smile on mine, I said, I hate motherhood. Bless you. Bless you. Oh, you should have seen her face. She had no idea what to do. But I felt like Al Pacino in the movie Carlito's Way, where he's finally out of jail and he says, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I am free at last. Woo! You should have been there. You should try it. And when I decided that I was no longer going to act, and I said I'm only going to act on stage and not act in life, is when I experienced true freedom. When I stopped acting, I was able to connect with my daughter and love her. I'm curious to know how many of us are acting now. How many of us are acting as if we are okay when we know we are not? How many times has someone asked you, how are you? And we usually respond with these three words. Good, fine, okay. But deep down inside, you're broken, you're sad, you're full of anxiety. Being transparent is not about spilling the tea and telling everyone your business. No, being transparent is ownership. Being transparent is being courageous, facing your fears and moving forward. Being transparent is self-love. Your mental health is a gift. Being transparent is asking for help when you need it. In 2017, I gave birth to another little girl. And in the 9 years, I realized the greatest role that I will ever play is being a mother. I still struggle, but I decided that I would cry in front of them, that they would always have the keys to my heart, and that I would allow them to not only see me as a mother, but me as a woman. You all deserve to be seen. You all deserve to be heard. You all deserve to be loved. Thank you.